I thought I'd use a video to try and explain some of the concepts of class allocation as is in the timetable program. So I'll start with your current structure to illustrate some concepts. Hopefully I've got this reasonably correct. If not, it's the ideas that are important. I think you've got that many year 8 classes of year 8 at the moment. The key things are how many classes are in this 8A type structure where it looks like the same kids are doing English, Maths, Art and Italian. So the program has a function called same where it can make sure that the same kids are in those 4 classes. And at the other end, you've got a notion of a block or a group of subjects that run at the same time, like I think what's happening here with English. You've got English, EAL, English, and those 3 Englishes there. So you've got 6 classes that need to run at the same time. So I've illustrated that by colour. You've got your maths blocks there, so that those classes have to run at the same time as those ones, and those 3 have to run at the same time. So the program has a function called tagging to handle that. And the notion there is that the kids, for example, in that looks like an enriched maths block, they might have a tag, those subjects or those classes would have a tag of 1, as would those classes there have a tag of 1. And the program would then know that any kid that's in any of those 3 maths classes must be in one of those 3 English classes. So that's the notion of tagging. Right, if we jump across to the software, what I would do is collect the student preferences via website as they've done their art, Italian, music and Japanese. I would also get them to add in the accelerated Italian, modified maths and all of that sort of stuff. Get the faculty heads to scrutinise, adjust these lists as necessary, and all of that data then you've got in electronic form. Now, this is the data I've got as of probably 2 weeks ago, so it might not be exactly accurate. For example, I haven't got all the subject choices for Angelina. I haven't got her a music or language choice, so the program's just highlighting that she's not got enough preferences, so don't worry about that red at the moment. So I've got their choices electronically. The next thing I would do, which is probably what you do, is come up with how many kids have chosen each, so that's this tally function. So we've got 26 kids who want to do enrichment maths, so I can get a list there. We've got 65 kids who want to do Japanese, and so on. That gives you a broad idea of how many kids want to do each subject. What I then do is jump to a thing called a conflict matrix, which Simon probably does with his filters in Microsoft Access database. So this shows you how many kids have chosen a pair of subjects. So we might want to look down, for example, at Italian, which is subject number 8. Go to column number 8, and then each of those numbers indicate how many people have chosen Italian and maths. Italian and enriched maths. So I've got 9 kids. There are the 9 kids there. I've got 88 kids that have chosen Italian and art. So that gives me a bit of an idea of the pairing of subjects. I'd probably go another level and I'd use the nominated function. And as we were talking before, what I want to do is I want to try and get as much of this 8A type structure as I possibly can. So I want to know how many kids are going to do English, Maths, Art and Italian. And I can do that by telling the program how many kids have chosen English, Art, Maths and Italian. And I've got a list there of nearly 78, I think it is. So that indicates to me you could almost get 3 classes or set up 3 home groups of year 8 like that could almost satisfy those 4 subjects. How many kids want to do a similar thing except for Japanese? So I've set that up. There's 26, I think it is. Yeah, 26. So that indicates to me that's almost I can almost get a class. So that'll inform my decision when I create the allocations in a minute. I could do a lot more investigation using that. So we're going to jump back to the tallies. So I'm telling the program I want to run 12 groups of year 8. I'm going to have 11 classes of English, 1 class of EAL. I think currently you've got 12 classes of English and one of EFL, so I'm trying to make it a bit tougher. I'm saving a class of English. Likewise with maths, I'm saving a class of maths there just to see if I can get away with it. Because one of the other issues about this is saving the school money in terms of the number of classes that are run. But I can bump those numbers up later if need be. Once I've done that, the program then knows it's got to run 12 classes of Year 8. So this subject here is in a sense a dummy subject that I'm going to use as an anchor. And what I then use is I've got some functions just outside of the screen. The first one I'm going to use is the same. So I'm going to say I want the same. Remember before we thought we could get 3 classes of English, Italian, maths, and I've forgotten the other one, but we can get 3 classes. So I'm going to say I want the same kids in that class as in that class, as in Italian, and sorry, it was art. So I want to try and create that 8A type structure. So I've told the program that. I've done that with a few of the other tallies. Then what I've done is I've used that notion of tagging. So what I've said is these 2, 4, 5 classes here have a tag of 1. That means that the only kids that can go in there will be kids that get into the other classes of tag 1. So what I've done is I've stamped subjects with those taggings. Now I have 9 tags I can use. I can use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 9. So in a sense, I've got 10 ways in which I can organise the kids. So I've done that through that. So that's actually the hard part. I've got to figure out these taggings. So I've done that as best I can. I then get the program to automatically assign the kids based on those structures. So this will take a minute. I'll just pause the video, or in fact it's going to finish any second. So very quickly, I've got a bit of an idea if that'll work. I've got 15 kids that I've got a problem with, so I can drill down and have a look at who those kids are. So I'll just have a quick look. I've already had a look at this. Most of the time it's because of the advanced music, so I can see from this that I'm having trouble. So I can go through each of the kids one at a time and just see why the program allocates by putting a yellow stamp, so I can sort of see which class the kids are in. You can see it's balanced the numbers pretty nicely. They're the English classes. I can't quite see, this screen won't show the full screen, but the balances aren't too bad. So that can be, it's tried to balance genders as well. I can then come in and modify and then try a different structure and quickly get a different class arrangements. Then I could then see which kids are in which class. So I've got 8A, 8B, 8C. I can quickly see the female-male ratios. I've kept class maximums to 26. So I've got how many? 12 girls in that class. There'd be 14 boys. Because you've got such an imbalance between you, I think you've got 110 girls and I think you've got 190 boys. You're never going to be able to balance the classes perfectly. But I get all the classes electronically. The program's making sure that the kids aren't allocated to more than one class twice. So it does all that checking for me, and then I can go and manually move one kid from one class to another. So that's the basic idea. I haven't got learning and development in there, but I'm sure that can be added. Thanks.